Coffee Club, Coffee Club. Grind your beans and grab your favorite mug. It's Ollie, Morgan, George, and Gus. It's them boys from Coffee Club. Boys from Coffee Club.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Coffee Club podcast for episode 184. The boys are back in the studio after George and I had a little outing to Pennsylvania, the city known as Philadelphia, for the Penn Relays. And boy, was it amazing. We had a good time, didn't we?
We did indeed. Yeah, Philly put on a show. City of brotherly love, right?
I thought you guys were like baking or roasting something. Like you had those beautiful little aprons on, and I thought you guys.
That's our uniform, baby.
Cute.
Yeah, I wanted to go apron, no shirt, just for the vibes, but
just to get more fans out there.
Yeah,
different crowd.
Could have drawn a bit of a different crowd, but
honestly, if Tom Wang did that, it'd draw a very big crowd.
Yeah.
So next time, Wom Tang is going to have to get his shirt off with the apron on.
Desperate.
Now Philly showed up for the Coffee Club again, as they have done the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
a lot of fun being out there.
The meet was amazing. Thank you very much to On for having us out there and all that. We'll get into that in more depth today. We're going to be talking. There's kind of like a lot of news topics that we'll be going over. We do have from the actual episode that we did, it was cool. I guess we'll just get into it. Why not? So we did on the Friday before the races were on Saturday. We did do a kind of live show meet and greet thing. We had custom shirts that were made, which were cool to give away to the fans. We had temporary tattoos, which are really cool to apply.
Got freaking tatted up.
Yeah, we got tatted up. It was cool. And then we did a little live show, sat down, had a chat. And I think we're either going to attach it to the end of this episode, or it'll be a little bonus episode that we'll release after this one. So if you want to check it out, please do. But just a little warning, it is like a live episode. So it's not maybe going to be the crispiest thing that we've ever produced, but alas, it was a lot of fun, and it was special because it was just a really good fun episode, and we did have a couple of very special guests on in Parker Wolfe and Ethan Strand, two of the hottest commodities in NCAA track and field right now.
Seriously, no, something a bit different, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think they were super chill. We were under a little bit of stress because they had raced on Thursday night in the 5K, 13:31, I think they had run, clocking off regional qualifiers. And then on Saturday, they had the 4x mile. So on Friday, they had just done their pre-meet, and then they were coming across to the pod. But the weather was beautiful. It did rain, and the weather got a bit worse on Saturday. But in general, the weather was beautiful for this trip. So the sun was out, it was warm. And their coach, apologies to Mr. Miltenberg, was, I think, not the happiest that they were going straight from pre-meet to come and do the pod with us, because he would have preferred that they went home and recovered and did all that. So they were very gracious to give us their time and their energy. We liked talking with them very much. They were very entertaining. And then we got to watch them go race the next day, which unfortunately they did not win.
Maybe that's why.
We're just hoping that we're not getting the blame for that.
Coaches boycotted Coffee Club.
Yeah, no more podcasts.
Yeah, I wonder if they talk shit about us after that. Like that fucking podcast.
I was like, yeah, I didn't see Nathan Green on a podcast on Friday, so I don't know. Maybe it was
it's the part of being good. You got to do some interviews. You got to sign some autographs.
Yeah, you got to learn. You got to learn to be able to handle it all. And then for the rest of the live show, we did chatted with George a bit about the race, which we'll talk about more. And then we did a fun little live Q&A cauldron type dealio where we brought people up from the crowd to come and talk about their Penn Relays experiences and also ask questions if they had them. And it was a real fun mixed bag. It was, because the thing is, so yeah, thank you so much to everyone who came out and hung out with us there, because it was an awesome time. But where we were situated was in the warm-up track. And so you got a diverse, well, I mean, not that diverse. Everyone's a track and field athlete there, essentially. But in terms of how into our universe they are, it's a very diverse mix of people. And I think a bunch of the crowd, it was more happenstance, where it was kids who had just competed and then they were kind of just hanging out there and they saw something happening and it's oh yeah, let's go
See what's going on.
See what's going on. And then a few of them came up and asked us questions, and it was very entertaining. Just like trying to relate to, for example, we had a high school 4x8 team come up, and they were just. It's
They
just
were
a different
hilarious,
universe.
actually.
Well, I guess we'll hear about it later, but I'm curious to see what the questions
Well,
were.
their question was pretty much, how do we not give up in a race? Because they came up and they said, yeah, because the way it worked for the high school, because they have so many teams competing, they actually have multiple, they have like, I think, heats and finals or something like that. And so like, they were like, yeah, before, like we saw the heat before us ran 7:40. So we knew we weren't going to make it. So they pretty much given up. And then like their first runner said he went out really hard and then died. And the second runner was like, yeah, I was just like, I just gave up. It's pretty much a lot of that. And they were like, how do we not give up? And we were trying to like give them advice. And I don't know, we tried. I don't know if we succeeded.
Did you just say be better?
Yeah, run faster.
Run faster?
No, we actually gave decent advice. The most entertaining was probably shout out to Ference.
Yeah.
Legend.
He was great.
Frank, who's I don't know if you maybe ran into him in St. Moritz last year, Ollie, because he was there for a little bit hanging out with shooting blanks, but he's a runner on the Harvard team. Super good runner, I think 3:37.
Hungarian.
Kind of meet a guy from Hungary. He asked us advice for regionals, and we were just like, yeah, probably just like trust your coach. I don't know. We don't want Gibby to come in and kill us.
Yeah, just listen to what Gibby says.
Exactly.
So,
thanks everyone for coming out and for cheering the rest of the time.
Yeah,
saw some other people in town. Some Coffee Club shout outs.
Yeah, it's always good. It's a really cool running town, and so shout out again to On for helping us set up, and of course Tom Wang for all the lovely work that he did. He made things happen, made it run smoothly. So overall, really fun. Hope to do it again next year.
I actually wish I brought that apron back for the kitchen.
I think we should. I mean, I think
I cook in an apron like
will
every night. I'm not gonna lie. I love wearing an apron.
With a shirt or no shirt?
Depends if Jenna's in the kitchen. Yeah. If Jenna's in the kitchen,
depends what kind of night we're having.
Sometimes it gets a little wild out up there. Yeah. I've heard.
I can't comment on that.
Bit of spillage. Yeah. Sometimes a bit of spillage.
But yeah,
actually nothing else on. Just only that.
That's what I've been picturing.
You get cheeks hanging out.
That's a lot.
Man. I can't wait for when you host a potluck. It's going to be fun.
I mean, if we ever sell the aprons as a fun little merch idea, I think
that's obviously going to be the photo shoot, right?
Or if we were to do a calendar as well.
Oh, shit, that'd be good.
Classic calendar.
That'd be really good.
I think we already know how those are going to go. But yeah, awesome. Philly, cool running town. It's crazy how many people are out there running on the river path. And it's funny, like, so we're around Yared a lot, obviously, and his level of fame has just eclipsed anything that I've ever experienced before in terms of runner fame. Like, I ran with him. I mean, just when you're at the meet, it's like, he's so good about it. He is, but it's like everyone wants to take a picture with him, like literally everyone. And then if you run with him on the river path, it's all people who are just, I mean, they're runners, but I think they're mostly like normal people. They're all just staring at him and they're just like losing their shit, just recognizing him.
He's just like past the line of like being well known in the avid fan world to now he's just well known in like just the vaguest running fan, or even like you slightly know about running,
like you American Olympic fans. I think
past running. I think
yeah,
he's just freaking.
He's very recognizable too.
That's what Cinta was saying.
Too. That's very recognizable.
Because I was put this
so distinctive.
I put this question forwards to a couple of the teammates, and that was Cinta's response was, yeah, he can't hide. He's so recognizable. But I said, who do you think is more recognizable out of him and Cole?
He is 100%.
Yeah. Even though Cole won a gold medal?
I think yes, like in the sense of if you were around and you saw Cole for a good period of time, like say a good period of time is like 3-4 seconds. Like
maybe recognizable is not the right word I should have used there. Maybe more famous. Who do you think is more famous out of Cole and Yared?
Yared.
You think so?
Well, I think Cole has kind of kept it on the DL. Like
I reckon he's got a lot more.
He's got a lot more Instagram, and he does do a lot of things. But like I think Yared's persona is just, and this is nothing to diss against Cole, but Yared's persona is definitely more engaging.
And On does a great job at highlighting
the tortoise stuff and the way he talks about like his Taylor Swift obsessions and all that sort of stuff.
Dental school.
His dental school stuff, like the Olympic. I think the Olympic page recently did like they did like a little piece on him, and he's an interesting person. So I'm not saying Cole's not interesting, but Cole's probably not had the same level of like marketing on his
The
personality side. Because I know Cole makes music and he does all these different things, but it doesn't get kind of marketed by Nike that much.
Nike's got a lot of medalists.
So Nike doesn't market Cole as much as On markets Yared. And
Definitely
I think
not.
Cole is not as recognizable because Yared's a very distinctive looking bloke and he's tall. Like, I think he's very easy to spot out. Whereas Cole, like if he had a hat on and he's running like, AirPods on, he just zips by you.
It looked pretty normal.
Yeah, sometimes you don't recognize him. So I feel like for that makes... And also I think the one thing with Yared too is when people see him and they recognize him and they come up and get a photo with him, he's probably not as intimidating as... I feel like Cole would be more intimidating to get a photo with.
Yared definitely
I think
handles
Yared's
it really well.
because of how well he handles it, people are much more probably inclined to come in. Not saying Cole doesn't handle it well, but maybe Cole's a bit more aloof.
I saw Cole punch a fan in the face one time.
Yeah, that was me.
Oh, that was you?
Yeah.
I thought, he didn't handle that situation very well.
Yeah, well, I asked for a photo and he punched me in the face.
Yeah, okay.
That's because I stole
haven't
some of
seen
his
Yared
music
do
though.
That's a big no-no in the rap beat
In the rap beat community, yeah.
Well, yeah. Moving on to Saturday, which was this was the one day where all the big races were for us, but it was also the day where the weather was very up and down. It was it was like windy at certain points, and then it was very rainy at certain points. If you guys saw the coverage of, for example, the 4x mile, it was very, very rainy.
It looked terrible. Fucking torrential.
It was even more rainy, but luckily,
Throwback to us.
Yeah, but luckily, it was like that for us back when we raced it.
Luckily, no lightning to delay it though.
No lightning to delay, and then also during the main pro section of the meet, actually good weather.
Where there was such a lucky window of like 25 or 30 minutes where it just cleared up super briefly.
Mm-hmm.
And
what god did you pray to?
Who controls the weather?
Whatever. There is a god that controls the weather.
Gus, I think.
Pray to Gus.
Mm-hmm.
No more slobber on the track.
But
like that.
Yeah, we had the Ben Franklin mile lining up.
The developing Olympians.
Development.
The Olympic development.
I'm calling it the developing Olympians because there was a few Olympians in that race. So I was just developing
They're still
them.
developing.
I don't know why they need to add that to the front of it. The Ben Franklin mile sounds sick.
Yeah, I don't know either. I think because they did that for the 1500, the mile, the 800. Did they just do that for all
every pro season?
They do that for the money side of it.
Maybe it's literally just to differentiate it from like the men's champ, because men's championship generally is like the premier college section. So maybe because they already have championship taken, they just are like, all right, these guys are pros. They go to the Olympics.
What if they put some like couple of stupid words in front of like the Bowerman mile?
The Olympic Development Bowerman mile.
You don't need to add words in front of it.
You're completely right.
The Olympic Development.
Ben Franklin says it all. Like, come on, guys, it's Ben Franklin. What more do you need to say?
Was Ben Franklin? Did he even know what the Olympics were?
I mean, probably he was pretty
Wasn't
well read.
Pre-Olympics, like
not
modern,
the first one. Well,
pre-modern Olympics.
Yeah.
How old is Ben Franklin? Is he actually like a founding father?
I don't know.
He's one of the founding fathers. He's got his face
still,
up on.
So doesn't that mean like 17s?
Yeah.
Is he still around?
He's old.
I want to say he's not.
Yeah.
If he is, he's old.
My instincts say no.
Is he the guy on the money?
Benjamins.
Oh,
he's on the Benjamins?
Yo, he is on the money.
And
Does that mean
Benjamin's
he's on the
$100, right?
I feel like otherwise you wouldn't say Benjamins if you were like talking about ones. That wouldn't.
No, that's Linky.
Is he? He's on the one?
Linky's on the one, yeah.
Well, you know your money well, Ollie.
And then Benjamin Franklin.
Because having Benjamins is like a flex.
Thomas Jefferson's on the 5.
So if you just had ones, like you wouldn't flex that. Are you making this up? How did you know this?
Huh?
What about on the 10?
On the 10?
I might Google and see if it's just
the 20.
It sounds like it's all found.
Actually, no. Benjamin
is Washington on one?
George Washington's on. Benjamin Franklin's on the 100. I think George Washington's on a 10 or a 20.
What about Josh Kerr? Did he get on one?
Right,
well, Josh Kerr's on the new $250 bill.
You're slightly off. Wait, what did you say was on the one?
Confidently, so I believe
one is Linky.
Yeah, not quite right.
Oh wait, George Washington's on the one.
Correct.
Linky's on the penny, isn't he?
Maybe as well, but he is on a note.
5.
Correct.
And then the 10 is
this is a $2 bill. That is the thing, right?
Yeah, I believe it is.
I don't think I've ever seen one.
It's like, do you know what? Like a Sacagawea.
The other guy is on the 2.
Sacagawea dollar. Not Benjamin Franklin. Who was the other one?
Lost.
What about
Jefferson? Thomas Jefferson.
Thomas Jefferson.
Makes sense.
And then isn't Teddy Roosevelt on one?
No,
No,
he's not old enough, right?
I don't know. I just
The other ones I don't know.
Was
Alexander Hamilton, Andrew Jackson. I don't
it-
know.
I was going to guess Hamilton.
He's on the 10.
Andrew Jackson.
Yeah, he's on the 20.
Who the hell was that?
He's the president.
And someone Grant is on the 50.
Fisher.
Fisher, yeah, that makes sense.
I
Actually.
mean,
Grant Fisher's on the 50 and the Benjamins is the 100.
It's a lot of honor to be the face of the American $100 bill. So good job to Ben Franklin and good job to securing the title sponsor of the mile race at the Penn Relays because it's an awesome race. And yeah, it was a great field lined up there. I think, did you know what the pace was going into it? Did they announce that to you guys?
151.
I think that's what we went through.
That's what you guys went through, I think.
I feel like maybe Ritz mentioned it. That it was,
But you were like, they're not important.
I don't think I was even listening. It had a 1 at the front, 150 something.
I hope it did.
Or he said 350. No, he said 352 pace.
That's pretty
So I
good.
guess like
56.
156, 157.
Which you guys went through in 150.
I think the pacer was 157 or 8.
Yeah, I think
The
you guys...
splits at Penn are like non-existent.
Dude,
the splits-
the
I
looked
back
at
of
this-
Penn is so
The splits
weird.
don't make any sense, and sometimes they're actual quarter-mile splits.
I looked at the results
like,
and I did not understand
Mm.
any of it. Well,
Yeah.
you guys slowed down the third lap.
No,
We were already going slow.
I think the second lap
Well,
was slow.
from the splits though, it said that your third lap was the slowest. I
what were
think.
the splits, Ollie? Do you know?
It said 158, and then
Yeah.
you guys went 302.
That can't. No, only the pacer was 158.
That's what I'm saying. The splits were
But
probably
also,
off.
I think it was a classic situation of like I think the first lap was 58.0 at the 409, and then
Yeah.
I think it was a 60. You know, I think it was that type of.
Because like the way the splits were, it's
59.
like there's no way you guys went from 158 to running a freaking 64. There's just no way.
I just think the splits are always like Farken City at 600. He saw like 127 or something,
Yeah, it was just it's
or it's
not
like
right.
something. He was
No,
just like
but, dude, did you see Nathan Green's finish? He didn't know.
he
where the
ran
finish line
so
was.
far past.
And also, apparently, for the 600, the actual Pro 600, they started them at the wrong line. I'm not sure if that's true or not,
I think this is like why Penn
classic.
can't have like a Diamond League or something.
but it can have a Grand Slam.
It is going to get slammed. Yeah,
It is getting slammed.
Hopefully they get it right there.
Yeah,
It's because the lines just don't make.
because you're running in lane 4.
They had a tape for Nathan Green's DMR win, but then they didn't have one for the 4x mile. So he just kept going. Like
Yeah.
he went through like 3 different lines.
Well, I was watching because I was right at the finish line, and I was watching them do the tape. And half the time they messed up, like getting the tape out, and then they just had to bail.
We didn't have a tape.
Yeah, they just bailed.
They
I
just-
think
because
because
they like couldn't get it up.
they
in
were
time.
like trying to roll it out, and it's like this isn't working. So then they just bailed.
How
Also,
can they
with
be
the
that
amount of-
badly organized?
but the amount of people finishing your race too, they're probably terrified of like knocking someone over.
Would have needed a long tape.
Yeah, because it was
quite a
pretty
few-
wide,
Quite a few lanes.
pretty wide. But anyway, yeah.
George found himself at his towards the back of the pack. At times, at the very back. Did you feel comfortable there, or were you like, how was that return to racing feeling?
The return to racing. It felt good to be back out there, honestly. And it was a nice feeling. I'm not sure if I planned to go all the way to the back, but I was pretty happy if I ended up there. I think just had enough confidence that it wasn't going to be a 350 race and I wasn't going to get left behind if I was at the back, and enough confidence that I could make up ground in the second half. That I was pretty happy back there. Ritz, when I came around the first lap, Ritz was already telling me, he's like, you should probably move up a little bit.
You could hear him yelling at you.
And then that was when I was in second to last. And then a lap later, I was in last. So he said move up a bit and I lost the place.
Yeah.
But Mario was also asking me that because he said he heard Ritz
Really?
telling me, he was like, yeah, dude, how far back were you? Well, I think I was in last,
As
actually.
far back as you can be.
But I just had a good feeling that the third lap was probably going to slow down a bit.
Mhm.
I just thought there was no one that was really going to like squeeze it from there. And I was like, there's no point moving up in the first or second lap for it then to slow down. And I would have just been there anyway if I'd just chilled. So that was kind of just a decision. And it felt like pretty easy and pretty comfortable at the back, which was nice. I mean, shit, we weren't going very fast. It was like you said. And then had to made a little bit of move just at 400 to get around a couple of people that were either slowing down or quitting.
Yeah, the biggest surprise was Luke Hauser because he's coming off a literal medal at World Indoors in a competitive.
It also seemed like that his type of race because he does do well off.
He's got a big kick.
I definitely had one eye on him.
Yeah, because you'd think. I mean, his racing was quite good off that, so it was interesting to see him not respond to that. Considering, but he must be a bit when you sorry about that. It was like mid yawn that I didn't yawn. When you've come back from like a world championship medal, I can imagine there's a bit of
maybe he took some time off or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely had an eye on him because he was only 1 or 2 plays ahead of me. So I was like, all right, if he makes a big move,
you got to go.
Should probably follow him. And also had an eye on Sam Ellis because he just ran 3:35 at Brian Clay with Nathan Green, so he's definitely in good shape. And so I'm not sure how much ground I had to make up and at a lap, but started moving a little bit on the back straight, and then was feeling pretty good about it, about the positioning still. With like 200 to go, I was like, I think this should be fine. And then started to run quite hard at like 150, or what I thought was that.
Because the rest of the pack didn't really start. They didn't kick from like 400, I would say.
No, it didn't seem like it.
It was more like a last 200, 250.
Probably. That's kind of what it felt like back there. And then I got to the end of the curve, and I was like, holy shit, the finish line's right there.
Yeah, it's like 50 meters.
It's literally like 50 meters.
Straight.
And so then I had to run really hard 50 meters and swing very wide, which was fun. And I mean, I said in the podcast the day before, like, just wanted to get out there and enjoy the last 200 and kind of enjoy being back out on the track racing again. And got the timing just right. It was one of the more ridiculous ones. Like,
it's pretty close.
Yeah, I left it pretty close, and I would have felt pretty dumb if I had got it slightly wrong. I actually didn't know if I had won or not. I was like 80% sure that I'd caught Sam at the line, but there was definitely, like, I definitely had to look up at the screen for a sec to make sure.
It was so close in the end. Makes sense.
Because last time I had time to celebrate with 20 minutes to go, and I timed it much better. But that time I'd got way closer by the time I got to 200. Like, I was kind of almost on them. And so then by the time I got to 100, I didn't have to move as hard. This time I left it a lot later. And so I almost got it wrong.
Yeah. Well, no better way to return to racing than with a textbook George win. Pretty damn awesome over, as you mentioned, a very informed Sam Ellis, who also got DQ'd. # free Sam Ellis.
# free Sam Ellis.
I know. How do I protest the protest?
I was interesting to see him get DQ'd, because then even like Joe and me and Kai were talking about it. I was like, we were trying to dissect how that was even possible for him to get DQ'd, because we didn't really see anything. But
yeah, we looked at the tape. Apparently, Holt the Bolt put in a little protest against him. I don't know, no comment, but
Holt put a protest in on him.
No, you can comment.
No comment, but that was a pretty weak DQ.
Wait, so
I feel for Sam Ellis.
I thought it was just the referees saw it or something like that. No,
I think it was a protest. Yeah, so I mean, especially for Sam, because he's someone who's like, he's performing really well this year after like a year or two of not getting the results he wanted. So I mean, more fuel to the fire for him, I suppose. We had Mario in it as well. He had a pretty solid race coming back. I think. I mean, obviously, he would have liked to win or come second, ideally, and he ended up 4th or 5th. So still a little bit of work for him to do, but a good way to return to racing for him. But overall, a very exciting race. I think 3rd place was Charlie Donovan. Well, it depends if you
Villanova.
Count. It depends if you count. It depends if you count the DQ or not.
I think he was one in front of Wes Porter, the UVA, who was 3rd, now 2nd.
So,
he was in the DMR with Gary at NCAA Indoors, but didn't have outdoor eligibility.
Dude, that's honestly crazy from Holt the Bolt, because if anybody's a big fan of Eric Holt the Bot, which we all are,
Mm.
he's a messy racer.
I was about to say
He's a messy racer. So like you get near him, you could go down. And
Everyone knows
putting a protest was an interesting move by him.
that dude takes up like a whole lane at least.
A lane and a half at least. Yeah.
Big shoulders.
I'm pretty sure last year I almost fell over a couple of times from him behind me. But
So that's a bit ironic.
it's a bit surprising to be honest.
We think that's what happened. Like I don't think we can say with 100% certainty, but I think we'd 80 to 90.
I would be surprised. I thought it was the refs, or somebody saw it. But if it was a protest from Eric, man,
Also, what do you expect in a
1500 race?
basically
is
a
always
tactical,
always a bit messy.
tactical
Let's
mile
finish like that.
where there's gonna be like 8
Was it
guys
during the finish?
the last like 50 meters?
I didn't. I got to
Right as
rewatch
you
it.
turned on to the straight.
I didn't see anything. I got to watch it.
But like
There's not
obviously
much to see.
there's gonna be a lot of people. It's gonna get physical. That's racing.
You're lucky you didn't get DQ'd, George.
What for?
Going too
Use
wide.
Too many lanes.
Yeah,
Going
you're
too
using
wide.
20 lanes. You're going too wide. There's a protest.
There's a DQ.
I know,
right
last time I got up the inside. So this
That's
time,
what she
there.
said.
Were you looking for the inside, or were you like, no, this isn't happening?
It's too late by then. I was so far. That was way far gone by then.
That's funny. That's
I
funny.
Maybe I think Mario was blocking it off too this time.
He knew.
Yeah.
Smart.
No, it was go wide or not at all. But
Yeah.
that's still fun. I definitely like it. I kind of felt like it was going to be fine with like 100, with like just over 100 to go, but it definitely wasn't it wasn't there as much as I thought it was going to be. I thought they weren't getting as close to me as normal, and but I mean that's fine.
Lots of good athletes.
This early, and yeah, the guys are good, and happy to get my hands back on that trophy, get my name back on there again. It's actually a really sweet trophy. Like that's a fun one to win.
Yeah, Ben Franklin knows how to make a trophy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Roger Bannister's on there.
Yeah.
1951, running for Oxford. I saw Murray Halberg's on there. He's a legend from New Zealand, Olympic champ in the 50s, I think. And I don't know, a bunch of other guys. I'm not sure if I found any Aussies on there.
Well, Yared won it last year, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's on there.
So
Yeah, keeping it in the OAC family.
yeah,
We're unbeaten.
that's what we did with the Emsley Cup. Oh no, Yared didn't win that. Never mind, because it was a 1500. They switched it.
Yeah, true.
If he did, that would have been cool, because then he would have been in the book. If you signed the book and everyone's in there.
Yeah.
That's cool. That history of the mile stuff. I like that stuff.
It's really cool.
They do that with some of the
That's why Relays with Penn Relays is so cool. And I guess this is what they're trying to do a Grand Slam, but obviously it's going to take a long time. It's like
50 years.
Yeah, 50 years. There's just not that many races that are not a literal championship race that it's actually just cool to win. Like the fact that Penn Relays has for the mile, it has, and the women's 1500, like they have trophies, and then for all like the big relays, they have a wheel, and it's like actually means something to go win a wheel, which unfortunately you can't say that about many like races in our sport that are not handing away like actual medals because they're a championship.
Like Diamond League final is probably the only one other than Grand Slam, because getting that trophy is pretty sick.
Yeah, like there's definitely other ones that are out there,
but it's harder to get.
But those are it's cool to have stuff like that in the sport,
That's more of a pace race anyway.
It's more meaningful, and that's, I guess, what Grand Slam wants to have that.
What's their trophy?
I think it's just $100,000 bill with Joshko's face on it.
I think it is just the envelope.
Yeah.
But you also can't just like convince someone that
it does take
something
time.
means something.
You know what they should
like,
do?
You can't. That has to happen naturally.
If you win Grand Slam, particularly for the 800, 1500, what they should do is they should give you a USB thing, and you plug it in, and it's a little video, and every single person in that race that you beat have to go, "Congratulations to you! You beat me. You are blah 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 blah." Can you imagine having that on repeat?
That'd be
very, very meaningful if Yared won and he just had Josh Kerr and Cole Hocker saying, "Congratulations, Yared! You beat me. You were the better runner. Congratulations." Yeah, we'll just sleep
idea.
peacefully.
Hopefully they can integrate that.
Yeah. So membrane. You can take that idea. It's free.
But we had a couple of other amazing OAC performances at the Penn Relays as well. Right before George was the women's 1500, and Josette put on an absolute show. I think we've been kind of mentioned like what form you guys saw in indoors, what form she was in, but it's particularly even coming into outdoors, we knew that she was in amazing form, and she's about to head to Indiana to also compete in the USA Road 5K Championships, where you guys will probably see it again. But she really displayed some absolute ability, running 4:01 to win the women's 1500, closing very quickly.
61 last lap.
Yeah, pretty.
That's legit.
Yeah, she's good. And she's trying to get a spot in one of those last 2 Grand Slams. So hopefully,
She's trying
At this point, she's got to go to the Philly one. Like,
yeah.
look at how she runs in Philly.
Yeah.
We said that last week. It's basically a hometown race for her.
Gotta
She
get
absolutely put on a show. That's like almost running the standard. Like half. Not that she already has.
What is the standard for women's 15?
401,
01,
405.
Yeah, one of the, but like pretty close. And man, if she had
Especially
couple
'cause
extra
their
people to
second
race.
lap, and their second
Yeah.
lap was slow.
She's almost going sub-4 like Faith.
I think.
Bro, so I put in the notes. Should we talk just quickly about Faith? I think it's a good time.
I'm sorry, I went on a diversion because I just saw that opportunity to make a joke.
No, it must be mentioned. It has to be
Do you
mentioned.
guys know, is this like, because they announced they're doing it in Paris, but it's not at the Paris Diamond League, I don't think. I think
No.
it's something separate. But
I thought it was.
Is it at
It's
the
not.
Diamond League? But is it going to be, and it's not going to be a certified
I
race.
think it's going to be a
Yeah.
Kipchoge situation where they might even do a wind tunnel. They'll give her like 13 plate
Do you think
spikes.
someone could be pushing her?
Yeah, they called me up for it.
Yeah.
They called me up for it.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you going to do it?
It depends how much money they're putting out. But
Are they having male paces? Is that like part of
Sure.
it?
yeah,
Or robots? One of those two.
they got the Elon Musk robots.
Unless, I guess they could have female paces if they're allowed to do literally what Kipchoge
Like one
did,
lap.
where they can do one
Lap
lap
each.
in, one lap
Yeah.
out type scenario.
yeah.
Or maybe 100 meters
Do
in,
you
100
think
meters
do you think it's possible for Faith to do it? I mean, she's an amazing athlete, but it's sub-4 is kind of insane. I think her PR is like 406.
407, I think it
407?
was last year. That was one of the most amazing
Yeah.
runs of all time
Yeah,
Mhm.
to do that. So 7 seconds in a mile, that's
that's a lot.
a lot.
Yeah.
She just ran in the Chinese Diamond League a 2:30,
Yeah, 229.
2:29, which is slower than sub-4 or on sub-4 pace.
Maybe fractionally slower.
So
I was trying to think like,
yeah.
what can a college freshman, high school boy just breaking 4 for the first time, running 3:59, like what can they run in the 1K? Because it's definitely faster than 229, right? Like,
pretty comfortable.
how much faster is it?
They're probably low. They're probably a low 150. Like for a freshman boy to be running sub-4 in the mile, they're definitely running under 155 in the 800. Probably more like 152 at least. You would think.
But
Right.
you don't, I guess
I guess Faith is going to be coming in at slightly more strength based than that.
Yeah,
like
maybe
she's going to
you
have
don't-
to just run.
she could be training hard through
59
China.
points.
Maybe she might be just training really hard through it.
The main thing is she's got, well, I don't know, 2 months to get a lot fitter. Hopefully,
It's in June, I think. So it's not. It's
Like
6
6
months.
weeks.
Yeah, but it's.
That's what I'm training for.
I think the thing is, face performances are already absolutely
The best
legendary, greatest
ever.
of all time. So it's like she doesn't actually have to do any crazy performances, and I think those last 7 seconds are all going to come from gimmicks if they do happen,
Yeah,
which is still will be cool to witness. But it's going to be same as the Kipchoge thing, where those last 7 seconds are going to come from gimmicks. She's like her 407 is enough.
Yeah,
it's more than enough.
to be honest, I think it's just a stupid marketing play by Nike. I think it's just a Nike thing.
but is it stupid marketing or is it like pretty good? Because we're talking about
It's
it.
probably
Anyone else is
on
gonna
the
be-
edge of being like pretty good, but like
Yeah.
in general, they're probably thinking, okay, we need to market something for
I
Nike.
love it. I love it for her though, because she's won. I mean, for her, she's got the world records and she's won 3 gold medals in a row. So it's like,
It was the same
what's-
as Kipchoge.
what's
Like
next?
Kipchoge's won all these marathon majors. They're just like, let's do something that we can.
so
you know,
I
do
do love
some
it. I
marketing
do
around.
love it for her, and
I also think it's fine if she doesn't do it.
definitely But
Like
it's up
just,
to they
just by
didn't-
just by trying and putting on a show.
Don't you think she'd want to do it with that gimmicks though? Don't you think she's like that type of athlete?
She
That'd be like,
could.
I don't want to deal with people saying, oh yeah, but I had this, or yeah, I had this. I feel like she's the type of athlete that's like, I want to do it the best I possibly can. If I can do it or I can't do it.
I don't think Kipchoge's saying that.
No, I meant Faith saying that, not Kipchoge.
Well, you don't think they just have the same thought on it?
No.
You know them?
No, I think it's completely different.
I was talking
Really?
to Faith, and she told me she didn't mind.
I was actually talking to Kipchoge and he said he did mind. So
um,
I can't wait for their UFC debut. Actually, it's
but
next
yeah,
week.
okay, so sorry, me too. That's gonna be
They're
amazing.
going to have a UFC debut. Can you imagine them
Everyone-
fighting each other? It'd be hilarious.
Yeah, everyone forgot that the first sub-2 failed. Everyone forgot about that
Because then he did it again and it was
'Cause
fine.
Yeah, so yeah, it doesn't have to see.
I mean, it's the same with like Chris Chavez. Like when he went for, but what was it, like the sub 3 hour? He
sub-5 in the mile.
sub 5. No, not the
Sub
sub
3 hour
5. No,
marathon?
3. Yeah, he couldn't do it in New York, and then he did it in Houston.
Is it? Yeah,
Yeah.
Sure.
So like people will remember when you do it right, maybe this year she doesn't get it, and then the next year she does it.
Yeah.
Potentially.
So it is cool.
So it is cool, but I would think that, it'd be nice to do it without all the gimmicks. But
What are these
Is she
gimmicks?
good?
What are we suggesting?
She's going to take a lot
waves.
of.
I reckon they have
chug
to have
jugs.
the. I just think maybe on camera this would look too bad, but I think she has to have the wind tunnel car in
Mm.
front of her. I think she has to
Yeah,
have
but
the
then
car
you
in
put
front
Wait,
of
they
her.
could have
in
it.
there.
They could have it just out of frame.
Yeah, just have the camera on that, so it's like you
They
can't
have
really
it.
tell.
They have it in there, and then they have a DJ in there with the light show going out of the thing, and it's like doof 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 doof.
Well,
and
they
she's just
kind of
running
like for what the event is, they kind of do need the pacing lights, like what? But they're advanced version.
Even
of
more
pacing
than lights.
Yeah,
Like instead of lights,
is-
a
yeah.
full like a
like
robot.
Kipchoge had.
Yeah.
They like you kind of
Kipchoge
do
had a
need that.
robot?
Kipchoge also had illegal shoes. Do you think they
Yeah.
make like an
Yeah, they'll make
illegal,
her illegal shoes.
illegal pair of spikes?
If they could, I don't think they have that technology. Maybe they do. I don't know.
Wouldn't put it past them.
They just do the like Fortnite. They give you the chug jog splash, and you like
If she could
move
take
really
a
quickly.
chug jug, that would
Yeah,
probably
that
help
could
a
help
lot.
her.
So maybe speak to Fortnite about developing that for real life. I think yeah, a big truck in front of her will help. And what else?
Crowd.
Mm.
Nice
I think
crowd.
you got to have everyone on lane 5. I guess if the truck's
I feel like it has to be at the Diamond League then. How else are they going to get people to go?
just because it's an amazing event, I guess.
Maybe Nike will like put it up for free. You can just rock up.
You know, in
they'll
like
promote it.
a movie, like they have like extras. Maybe that type of scenario.
They have cardboard printouts of people just
Yeah.
in the stands.
They have like how the paparazzi, they have
Mm.
like the flashing lights thing. That's like
Yeah.
not actually people's cameras, but it's just a strobe light. Maybe they'll have that.
They could have that. Yeah.
The Paris Diamond League loves world record attempts though.
I mean, definitely the guy would want it
That's
there.
yeah.
So maybe it will, because he'd probably be doing everything he could to have it there. Because, yeah, obviously amazing thing to have at your race. Who
I
wouldn't
mean,
want
even
that?
if she doesn't run like sub-4, she'll still run the world record. So.
But it won't count.
Oh yeah, because she's wearing the shoes and the tunnel and the truck and
Yeah, I actually haven't looked in the details.
The
of this.
robots
It's
and the
assumptions.
men.
yeah, the robot. It sounds like we're describing a science fiction film.
We are.
Yeah,
It is. It's going to be a science experiment.
This is it.
yeah.
So,
No, I mean it'll be interesting. I think.
I think she doesn't do it first attempt.
Geordie, the pessimist.
Yeah, last week I was
Because
saying
maybe
that
they
I
don't
thought
use a
she
truck
did,
the first time, and
and they
then
learn.
they'll learn from it like they did with Kipchoge, and then next time.
Yeah.
I'm just saying first attempt. I'm going to be the
Hey, if,
negative.
you know who she does need pacing her because she's helped her break a world record before.
Sage.
Sage. She needs Sage. Her lucky charm.
Get Sage out there.
Get Sage out there. Fly Joe and Sage out. Get
Joe as well. Joe would
Yeah,
be a good
you got to
pacer.
have them. You have them both there. The Hurta-Klecker's got to be there, and then you get like Jam Bar, like all over the track and stuff, and they
Well,
can sponsor it.
All the athletes did get flown out to the Kipchoge one. That was pretty sweet.
Yeah, we'll get flown out to do not documentary. We'll get flown out to do the commentary
And the documentary.
and the
probably.
documentary. We're gonna film it and then we'll have the rights and hold it, and then we'll sell it to Nike for $1 billion.
Sounds like a good business plan.
Yeah.
All right, stay tuned. Stay tuned for our updates as information does become more available. But yeah, Josette absolutely smashed it. Maybe she'll be at the Sub-4 as well. Sit on Faith, and then I'll kick her at the end. You never know. But the final big dub that our team got was Mr. Robert Farken in the 800, who
He looked good.
Yeah, I mean, he is an 8:15 guy. Like, that's what he does. I don't know if that was a PB for
It
him.
was.
It
Yeah,
was
I think
actually a PB?
145 high was his previous PB. He ran
And it-
145.4.
Yeah, it was like
Something like around
couple tenths of a
He
second.
assured me that he can run quicker. So we'll see quicker from Robert Farken.
I'd say he definitely looked like he could have.
Yeah. Look great.
He's very, very fast. But even then, he did look like a 1,500-meter runner running an 800 in terms of how much room he gave them. But also, everyone else went out really, really fast and then obviously died because then Farken passed them all.
Yeah.
So he was the first one across the line, which is the name.
Yeah,
The
usually
name of
that's
the
how you
game.
win the race. I mean, he does look like an on model, like in that speed suit. He looked unreal.
Yeah, he looked, the speed suit
The new kit looked good on him.
Yeah.
did. I loved there
Looked good
were
on everyone,
there were some pictures, the close-ups where you could see his nipples, which I really liked. Actually, there was a picture of George. There was a picture of George.
Oh yeah, I saw the picture
where
of George.
his singlet was going a bit to the
It
side.
was only like
And you could see a tiny bit
only
of
like
his
half a nipple. It was
like it
only
was
like,
like a little sliver of nipple.
it was not a full nip slip.
Did the race kit feel good, George? race it? Or feel the same?
Yeah, the jersey was very nice. I wore the half tights because it was raining. I probably would have gone shorts.
Mm.
I'll probably go shorts
You didn't want
when I
some-
steeple.
You didn't want
rain
that. You don't
going
want
up your
something.
butt.
You don't want to do a Yared Nuguse and have a little mishap.
What happened to Yared?
Cross country, college.
What happened?
He's meeting two veg came out.
Yeah, you don't want that.
That happened like last week at the track too.
Oh, did Yared's meeting two
I
veg?
think while you were gone, were you not there either at the track?
I didn't
Yared's
see it.
meeting two veg came out.
This happened at the track. I shouldn't say it.
That's a high school, bro.
I shouldn't say that.
Yeah, but it was an accident. It wasn't intentional. It wasn't like
That's
he
what
was
they
like,
all
"Hey
say.
guys, check this out." Like it's an accident. It's malfunctioning. It's malfunction.
Didn't know
It's a
about-
wardrobe malfunction that's happened at like the Golden Globes and shit.
It happens to the best of us.
Yeah, it happens at Penn Relays too sometimes. So, I mean, it's safe, George. You don't want your bobbing a dozen eggs coming out. You just wear your half tights and your
Smart.
your jersey. But no, I mean the kit looked great. I was just interested to see how it was comfort wise.
Yeah.
No complaints.
No complaints. Lovely to hear from George.
Yeah.
Can't wait to slip into that thing.
Yeah,
soon.
me too.
Get out there,
Everything's
show it off.
everything's gonna look great.
Yep.
Yeah. Or for a nice long workout with Farken afterwards.
Hey, what'd you guys do
classic-
post race? Let the people
Classic
know.
pen session.
It was
I think
10
exactly what me and you did last year.
10 by mile at 4:20.
We toned it down a little bit from what we did last
true.
year.
Because last year we were pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Feeling fit last year.
We whipped over to the river and did 5. Well, apparently Ritz started talking. He was like 5 times, and Robert was like, "All right, 5 times K," and Ritz said 5 times mile. And
So you only did K.
no, we did miles,
You
but
did
Robert was thinking he was going to say Ks.
Oh God, poor Robbie.
I think it was, and then 4
Go back to Europe, am I right?
Yeah,
times,
go back to the metric system, clown.
4 times a minute,
4 times a mini, dude.
5 miles, 4 times 60.
That's a great workout right there.
The Penn special
Fantastic.
post race.
That's the Penn 15 special.
Do love
Flow
that.
Track will covering it too. That's on the extra subscription. You can watch George Beamish, and he was wearing the split shorts I hear from that workout. So if you guys want to pay a little bit extra to see some action there, just tune into Flow Track and subscribe.
I'm looking forward to wearing the splitties for a wee.
Oh, we are all looking forward to it now after what we've heard. So
Cannot wait.
yeah, it's gonna be great.
Anticipation. So
That was
the
Penn, though.
Relays. A great few days out in Philly. Had a good time. Ate some lovely food. Watched some good
What did
track.
you
interacted
eat,
with some good
Morgs?
fans.
I don't know, coffee, food, because you were more like the
I was-
tourist.
Yeah, I was eating.
You were eating.
I had a Philly cheesesteak.
Yeah.
It was good. A little bit overwhelming,
Mm.
I would say, which I think they often are. I had dim sum,
Nice.
Chinatown, pretty good. I had a couple of Montreal style bagels,
Ooh.
pretty yummy. I had some mush for breakfast before
Yeah.
the workout. Shout out, please sponsor us.
Hmm.
And then I can't remember I had Italian, really good Italian as
Nice.
well.
What does Cinta think of the Italian?
And your cheesesteak.
She liked it. I said
You-
cheesesteak.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
She liked it?
She liked it. She approved. Yeah, all around good meals.
Nice.
And I got some good training in there as well, which was nice. Lots of running.
I got some FOMO back here, so
Yeah.
I was
To join
very
us
glad
next
not
year.
to travel. But if I could teleport, I definitely would.
That should be invented soon, I
The
think.
Yeah.
flight back is kind of brutal.
Yeah, it's just like you forget how far away Philly actually is from here. Because I looked at it and I was like, oof, 4 bit hours.
Yeah, like a 4-ish hour flight.
Yeah, that's tough.
Get you.
That's tough. But
Pretty
looks-
good
looks
chance
good.
we'll be there next year, though.
Well,
We'll run it back.
we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see.
Mm-hmm.
Depends on what happens with sponsorship stuff. But we'll wait and see.
What does that even
What?
mean?
Well, didn't you hear?
What?
Oh, I probably shouldn't have announced this on the podcast. On's going to be sponsoring all the Grand Slams next year.
Oh, so we're going to all the Grand Slams. is what
Yeah.
you're saying.
We're slamming on.
I cannot wait to get slammed.
We're getting on slammed.
Cannot wait.
No, that's just a joke. That's actually a joke. But can you imagine if On sponsored Grand Slam? That'd be the most brilliant thing ever. Wink, wink. On.
Penn was
Sponsor.
so far away that Yared literally stayed out there to go to Grand Slam this week.
Yeah.
Crazy. So we're getting slammed again this week.
He's getting slammed this week.
Yeah, speaking of
Second slam.
slamming people, it's coming up. Friday, is it Saturday? Friday, Saturday, Sunday this week. Wow, that's tomorrow if you're listening to this on the day it comes out. So you're
Yeah.
getting slammed right now, probably.
He's getting slammed.
It's actually the biggest event in Miami this weekend.
Yep.
Not
Nothing else going on.
nothing.
No other races.
No.
Nothing.
No motorsport. Not even.
Not even F1.
Nah.
Nah, not even
I
F1.
don't think that's not Miami this weekend. So don't pay any attention to that.
It's
Yeah.
all about the Grand Slam.
I would worry more about the slam. I mean, there's a reason why Johnson & Johnson said we're doing it this week in Miami. This is like the best time to do it.
It's pretty. Yeah. Otherwise, it's quiet.
Otherwise, it's quiet.
It's quiet.
Yeah.
It's a good
Actually, I
quiet
had
week.
Lewis Hamilton's actually the starter for all the races.
Yeah, I actually heard that they're subbing out all the slammers for the cars, and then they're putting all the car drivers into
It's
the
actually
Grand Slam.
pretty sad that they. Well, no.
So Yared's actually doing Formula
Yeah,
One.
it's driving Ferrari right now. Yeah,
No, he's driving.
Charles Leclerc's in the 815
yeah,
group.
yeah,
I was going to try and make
Shut-
a Mario Kart joke there.
yeah. Yared's carrying Tyro as a blue shell.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the schedules because definitely Grand Slam would love to make their races go and like get in the paddock and stuff, but they're literally going to be racing at the same time. So it's not going to work out, unfortunately.
Do you think this is going to be good or bad for Grand Slam in the sense of popularity in Miami for people turning up?
Probably bad. I mean, the F1, how can you compete with the F1? When that
You
comes to
can't, but
town?
I was thinking if it was like
I tried to schedule a
somewhat
coffee
off.
club meetup during the F1 in Vegas last year. No one came.
Really
Yeah, no, everyone was at the Grand Prix instead.
far out.
So
Because I was
If that
thinking
can't
if
get
like
anyone.
if Membrane and Johnson were thinking, you know, this is the greatest circuit of all time. This is the champions against legends. This is the greatest thing ever. We'll just, you know, be able to piggyback off the F1 and maybe get some F1 people to come watch some actual racing, some pure racing.
it's just tough because you can't be in two places at once.
yeah.
Otherwise, it would work
if the
well.
timing was off, like it was a bit delayed.
Johnson was doing chicken, and he thought that F1 was going to back out of this whole weekend.
Oh, you
Like,
would have
thought they-
scheduled the same time as us in the same city?
Johnson,
Good luck.
Johnson was like, they don't have the money for this.
No.
Good luck.
They don't have the money for this.
and he's actually shocked that they followed through with
Hey,
it.
we might be calling this too early, though. We could be completely wrong on this.
Well,
If there's no one at F1, you know why.
you
They're
know
all- they're all
why
the
Johnson
Grand Slams.
Johnson had paid them all $100,000 to go watch the Slam.
Yeah, so we'll see how that plays out. I mean, I would expect Florida to. I mean, I've never heard of a race in Miami before, but I would expect Florida to have a lot of track fans.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping. I guess it's a big state though, so people live like far. I don't know. I hope there's a lot of people
That'd
out
be
there for
good.
this one. I'm sure it'll be cool.
I mean,
I
they're both
think-
racing around the track. Like F1's
Yeah,
are racing around
same
the track.
difference.
When we go one storyline, we're looking forward to a Grand Slam each.
My
you go first.
My
Surely
storyline.
we got something.
Oh, you go first.
My storyline is: can Sydney McLaughlin win again? Can she win?
Is
Can she win?
is she doing the other event?
Yeah, it's she announced. Oh, I forgot, but she did announce her exact schedule. Maybe this one is the same one again.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but can she win again? It looked
Yeah.
pretty close last time, so let's see if she can win again. No, I mean,
I think she's sticking with hurdles.
honestly,
for this one.
the short
yeah, I think
sprints,
she is sticking, and then I think she's going 4-2, and then short hurdles. I don't know.
the short sprints for the men actually would be pretty cool because I'd love to see Kung Fu Kenny dominate everyone again. I mean, Fred Curley had an interesting 200, but I'm keen to see the short sprint guys.
Yeah, I was gonna make a mean joke about someone, but I'm not gonna do that.
Nah, do it.
No, I
I'll
can't.
back it up.
I'm not
I'll say
allowed
something
to.
worse, so then you covered.
I
I'll
was
say
gonna
something worse, and then you cover.
My main storyline was gonna see if Josh Kerr can break 150.
Well, did you see Josh Kerr's YouTube about Yared for the Grand Slam?
No,
I
I don't
he-
watch his
I think
YouTube.
there was a clip on Instagram, and it was like saying like, oh, we know what Yared's going to do. He has no tactics. He's just going to take it with 600 to go or something like that, and you just sit on him and then out kick him. And then there's a video of him just not being able to out kick Yared and getting Wyoming comes on the outside and just sprints past everyone. And there's also a funny clip of Jakob Ingebrigtsen at a car show. I don't know if you guys saw this.
yeah, someone sent
And he
it to
goes,
me.
Tesla
Calm down.
Cybertruck. And he just tapped it and he walked away.
Was it actually this out?
Yeah, it was. He's like, oh, we're going to get a Tesla Cybertruck. And he like tapped it. And he was joking. And he just walked off. But there's still some banter there. It's good to see this.
Wait,
The
who
banters back and
are
forth.
the?
They probably are so
challenges?
happy that Wen Yonyu's not there
Yeah,
because he was
He's
only a
looking real
challenger.
good.
Yeah, I was going to say he'd probably win again.
He probably would. So I think they're probably all
Is
very thankful.
Neil doing it again?
Nah, all new challengers.
Oh,
Tim,
really?
our boy Tim,
Tim Chariot?
fresh off training with the young Dutchies. We don't Kith Botswanian Hangura.
Oh, the guy ran 3:30 in the
A
African
couple
meet.
weeks ago.
Yeah.
Is that guy? Jeez.
Yeah. He's also
Um,
an 800 runner. He ran the final at the 800 at the Olympics.
I'm scared.
So he would be
Tishipo,
very dangerous.
Tishite, the South African dude, often takes races out very hard.
Mm-hmm.
And Pete Bol.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That Pete Bol is there.
Pete Bol,
That's sick for him.
Australian record 143.
I'm looking forward to seeing Pete in this.
Well, Pete, honestly, the 15. If Pete can get as close as he can to that front pack in the 15, he will be very good in the 8.
Yeah,
I think he's in good
last
form.
time we showed that the 800 guys were ended up coming out on top. But yeah, that's kind of with an asterisk because when Yoni was in the race, and he might be like one of the best 1500-meter guys in the world right now as well. So I think we'll see. But it sounds like there's some real good challenges lined up. But I don't know. I'm just excited to see Yared just because I know him.
Yeah, I know him as well. He's pretty exciting. He also just, I know after getting beaten in the first slam, I think he's very motivated to win this one or win at least one of them. So wish him the best of luck.
Yeah. I know on the women's side, Claudia is going, which is pretty sick as well.
Yeah. It was funny because I was with Craig at the time when they were talking about it, and then they announced like the whole like image thing, like Grand Slam, like, you know how they have all these like ridiculous stats, and then there's Claudia and just has no stats because she's never raced anyone in the field.
See, I was about to say that, and I don't want to burst that bubble, but she is no longer on the start list.
Oh, what?
Oh, maybe something happened.
Damn. I was looking forward to
consider my bubble burst.
Because I was about to say another Australian after Pete, but yeah, seems like that is maybe not the case any longer, unfortunately.
Hey Merba, if you need another girl on the, I can do it. Oh, just put wait, Josette, is Josette? No, Josette's not doing Miami, is she?
No.
She wants to do one of them, but she's not doing Miami.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully they find a spot. That sucks to hear Claudia out because she would look pretty good at Aussie Champs. So
yeah.
And some new challenges for Grant Fisher.
Oh yeah, give us those.
Well, Coubertier's back for round 2.
He ended up second. Yeah.
And then Koskarin?
No, sorry, Hagos was second. He was maybe third.
Yeah.
Koskarin.
Interesting.
George Treadmills, Sam Atkin, local hero, and Dawit Sierra.
I'm really interested to see how they pick these
Eritrea,
people.
maybe?
I'm like very interested to see how they pick these people. Like, do they
They're
reach
all really
out?
good athletes.
Yeah, but do they reach
Yeah.
out or do they pick like select?
I don't know.
I'm just curious.
Wheeling and dealing behind the
'Cause-
scenes happens with the agents and them.
Yeah.
I feel like Hagos will do more of what he did at.
Yeah, in all seriousness, that is actually the story that I'm most excited for, is just to see Hagos see it come into fruition, him saying, I'm never letting a Grand Slam race be slow again. I am a 12:36 or 5 guy or whatever he is, 37. I'm going to go very fast all the time, and I'm going to test it to the limits. And we did see that last time in the women's
That's what the women did, and
distance
they
group, and it wasn't
crashed.
I mean, the women that did that absolutely crushed. The races were maybe not quite as exciting because of it, but I think on the men's side, they'll potentially be more exciting because it's going to be very hard to drop a few of those other people.
That will make it exciting, though, I think.
So it will be good if that's how it plays out.
Yeah.
But yeah.
When are they adding in long hurdles, George?
Longer hurdles.
Like the steeple 400 hurdles double or something.
Do you reckon, do you reckon you could beat Sydney McLaughlin in a 800-meter hurdle race?
800?
Yeah.
Actually,
but
yes.
You would, because her hurdles are like, you just step over.
Yeah, do I get her tiny hurdles?
Yeah, you get her little hurdles, yeah.
800, definitely. Could I beat her at her event? I want to say definitely not.
Well, she run 50 point.
I think 50 flat. Like, no.
Yeah, she runs a crazy 400 hurdles.
That would be very hard to do.
I've heard.
I've heard that
not
too,
especially out of blocks. Like, nah,
Someone told me that.
that's not happening.
What do you get to run? You get to run into it. You don't have to be in the blocks.
Still not happening. 25s over hurdles. I mean, at least
but
not
her hurdles.
That would help. That would help.
If it was her hurdles, yeah.
If it was the men's hurdles, I'm probably not finishing.
I don't know if I could get through like 100 meters.
Those go up to my chest.
Yeah, the men's hurdles are insane. It's insane how hard they are.
Could I beat like Rai Benjamin in the 800 hurdles?
That would be
a great
Or
race.
no, Custom Warholm would probably be way better at the 8.
Yeah, he would probably be a very big challenge.
He does like tempo runs.
He's been doing.
Yeah, he does longer
20
reps.
minutes threshold.
Yeah,
that's actually more than we do.
Norwegian method. Yeah,
does he actually do that? I don't know.
I think he does. Maybe them broken up more. He probably doesn't run them as quick.
He's a big guy though. Surely he's not running too much at threshold because he needs to keep some muscle on.
I think like once a week or something. I don't know. Wait, you saying the running threshold makes you lose muscle?
Yeah.
Jeez.
My butt's gone. I got no butt anymore because I
You never did.
Yeah, when did you?
You
have
take
a butt?
that back, George.
No, I'm not going to.
Dude, I had a great butt and then double.
You
threshold
absolutely
ruined
did
it.
not.
I did. I had the best butt in the team.
Like, what year are we talking?
We're talking. We're talking since 2020.
Since 2020.
Yeah, I had the best butt. and now it's gone.
I'm going to look at some old pictures.
Hey, you've got some photos on there. I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have some actually really good pictures that I can check. We'll see.
I had the best butt in the team.
All right. So that's the Grand Slam, the West preview. we've ever
Well,
done.
the 8:15. My interesting take on that is obviously more weeks have passed. Training has come through. I'd be interested to see how, on all seriousness, how Josh Kerr and Cole Hocker do, because it does seem like it's very early in the year, so they're just kind of probably building up. They're obviously not at their 100%, so it'd be cool to see them keep progressively getting better and better each time they get slammed. It'll
Think
be
there'll
fun
be
to
another
watch.
drip check.
I hope so.
Oh, dude, that orange was it orange? No, it was green. That green suit that Josh was wearing.
Coffee Club.
He looked like a Batman villain. Do you reckon? He looked like the Riddler.
I hope there's another drip check.
There better be another drip check.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, I think those storylines will be ultimately the most entertaining things. Is the links between the different.
If one of you guys do
events.
a slam, George, you should just do the coffee club apron, no shirt,
Genius. Genius.
No brainer.
and no pants either.
And this is the first time that Grand Slam truly goes head to head with the Diamond League on the same weekend.
Oh, it does.
So this is where
I don't know if that happens again.
China round
Actually,
2,
don't know.
baby.
China, round 2.
I bet it does. I don't know.
They've gone up the road to Shanghai.
Shenzhen. Is it Shanghai?
It says Shanghai / Kikoi. Kikoi.
I'm wrong.
Wait, then
I think the first one was in Xiamen.
Xiamen. And now we got Shanghai / this other place, it says.
Because last year, the second one that I did was in, I don't know, it's confusing. It was in Shenzhen, which is like connected to Shanghai.
Maybe
But,
they just call it this, but it actually is that
I don't
one.
know.
probably just because it's more
So
notable.
I think it's been
Notable city.
actually in Shanghai before though as well. So maybe it is back there. Who knows? Either way, we do have some more great races coming up. Last weekend we had Sage in the 1K running a 2:34. Was it 3? 3, sorry.
Even 2.
I don't think it was.
Was it 3?
I think it was 3. I'm going to go 33.
Why are you asking me?
And she did well. She came 4th.
Yeah, no.
I want to say 2. 2:32.
I'm going with
Wait, Jordy's got it up.
I'm
Jordy
sticking
knows.
with 33.
I'm sticking with.
Can we check?
I'm
He's
sure
got
we
it.
can.
He's got it.
No, this is the start list for the 8 that she's also in this week. She's gone 1K 800 double.
Oh, she came
Good
3rd.
old Sage.
She came 3rd, I think.
No.
2:33.
Definitely 4th because the Aussies went 2-3. It was
Yeah.
Faith and then Abby and Georgia.
No, Sarah Billings.
Sarah Billings.
Okay, 4th, 2:33. Final answer, lock it in.
4th 2:32 is
Ollie,
my.
what's your guess?
2:33.
Good guess.
And she's going up against a similar field, but not Faith. Faith's gone back to train for a Sub-4.
Yeah, she's going to work with the robots. Getting back to it.
But Eddie Wiley's over there. Sarah Billings stayed.
Yeah, I
Lots
think
of Ethiopians.
most of them stayed to do these amazingly stacked.
Are you looking this up, Ollie?
No, I'm on Instagram. Let me. Sorry, I just saw.
There's also a crazy men's 5K.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 16, 17, 18. There's only 19 people now, but there
At
were
one point there was 24.
there was like almost 25 a few days ago, which was crazy. But there's still some crazy people in it, including a late ad, Jude Thomas, by the looks of it, Aussie bloke, Keita Sato, our training partner of recent years.
Well, he hasn't been a training
From-
partner for a while.
From Japan, and a bunch of other guys. It's going to be
Talhoun?
Talahun.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's going to be Josette's going to be insanely hot and humid.
Yeah, that's classic.
Oh, there's a 3K steeple.
Did you not? Have you still not found this?
Matthew Clark's in it
And I'm
from
yeah.
Australia. Wow, this is a massive steeple field. Holy
all
fuck.
the fields are all
That's
so big.
many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 in a 3K steeple. Does that seem like a lot to you?
That's quite a lot.
Yeah.
But
Holy
it's,
fuck.
The steeple last week was pretty epic.
Yeah, I didn't catch that one.
Furawu, Ethiopian guy, nabbed Albakali on the line, basically.
Albakali got beaten.
Albakali got beaten again.
That's huge.
He lost the Diamond League final and he lost the first Diamond League of the year. And they were like 8 8:06, I think, and 12th place was 8:12.
Yes.
So 12 guys in like 5 or 6 seconds, which made me really want to get back into Diamond League steeple. Like,
Yeah.
seems like it's going to be.
Your time is coming.
Don't worry, Geordie. You will.
Seems like it's going to be a really cool year of like lots of deep steeple races, and they're going. It's a bummer that they're having 2 of the Diamond League steeples in China in 7 days. So it's basically
This
a
early in the
repeat.
year.
A repeat of the race.
Yeah.
This weekend again. Which is kind of makes sense because they're all out there, but it's a bummer because they only have so many Diamond League steeples in a year, 5 to be exact, before the final, which isn't very many. And so 2 of them are in China, so then there's only 3 more for the rest of the year.
Yeah, it's very early to have 2 of them.
Yeah, and it's the first 2 of the whole year, so that makes it slim pickings after this. But that'll be a fun one to follow.
Yeah.
Did
What
you find
do you
it?
got for us, Ollie?
Find what? Well, I was looking at the results. Yeah,
What was the answer?
for Sage, I thought we already talked about it.
What were you doing?
I was looking at the men's 400 because Quincy, the young teenager, he's running his first time. Is he his first time in the league? In the 400.
Sure. There's
Yeah.
no way he's in high school.
He's running it. He's in it.
In China.
Yeah, he's in China.
He was just racing at Penn.
I don't believe you for 1 second.
Hey, I just looked at it. Okay.
I don't believe you either.
Okay,
You know, there's two
It's
Quincy's.
Quincy Hall, Olympic
Yeah.
champ.
Well, they're both named
Oh, you're a
Quincy.
true fan.
Is it Quincy
Oh.
Wilson? Or is it Quincy Hall?
That's terrible coverage right there.
Quincy Wilson. Sorry. All right. Program and results.
That is, he just dropped out of Grand Slam for good, though. That's also the
It says
storyline.
that I'm not allowed to access
Wait,
this.
He was he a racer?
Mm-hmm. And he pulled out the first one, and then he got replaced. So now they made Stephen Gardner, whatever his name is, a racer.
Oh, I wonder why.
Yeah, drama.
That's
Or maybe
crazy.
not drama, I don't know.
He probably was on a really big contract.
You would assume so. But he's decided to go to Shanghai instead of Miami.
Maybe they're paying better there. I don't know. Crazy.
So that is really a battle between Diamond League and
Yeah,
Grand
it's
Slam
not
right
letting
there.
me see it. It says you have no permission to access this page.
They've specifically banned Ollie from looking at the Diamond League result.
Yeah, I can't look at it.
That's tough, bro. But anyway, China Diamond League until going down for the second weekend. Sage, as we already mentioned, is going back to battle in the 800, hoping to put out another great performance.
Fuck, it was
So-
233.
It was 233.
See, I told you I knew.
Yeah, it took you 10 minutes.
No,
It took you 10 minutes to not find it.
no, but I couldn't get on it. It said there's no permission. I don't want to like break the Chinese law or something to get
No, that's
permission.
fair.
But I was correct,
That's
George.
that's really fair.
So
Ollie.
say Ollie was right. Say it. Say Ollie was right.
Ollie was really dumb at finding the result.
No, Ollie was right. I was 233, baby. I was right.
So to close out this show, I think we should we're not going to get into too much depth because we've been going on for a little bit, but the London Marathon also happened this past weekend. And as per usual, absolutely amazing race. Probably the thing that I was most excited for was to see Kiplimo's debut because he's coming off running a time that I still haven't wrapped my head around in the half marathon of sub 57, I think it was. And he succeeded. He did amazing second place, I think 203 or 202, 203, beaten by Sebastian Sawe in what was a great race. And Kipchoge actually had a kind of a little comeback.
That was huge.
205, I believe.
205 for fifth. That's
Huge.
very respectable.
After a couple of tough ones.
How old is he?
I want to say like 41.
Yeah, he's not young.
Okay, what are you going to be doing at
Seems
41,
dangerous.
boys? Running 205?
What did he-
204
yeah, I was going to say, what did he run? Yeah, a little bit quicker. That's the goal right there. We had Alex Yeet. This was a very exciting,
Yeah, this is an exciting story.
storyline for us because we kind of know him and we paid a lot of attention to him.
I pretend that I know him like
Yeah.
a lot.
So do I.
So
I'm-
I do as well. If it's not like someone that knows that well, I would say yeah.
I've never actually met him, but I pretend like that we're like bros.
Yeah,
Fan
we're
of the pod.
homies.
But yeah, we are big fans of his. He's an amazing runner. He always has been. He's the reason why not the only reason, but a big reason why he's the Olympic champion right now in the triathlon. And we had been paying attention to his recent training block, and it was very successful. I would say 211, but not just 211. I think he was about 11th place as well. Like he placed pretty well, which is pretty awesome. He might have even been the top Brit, which is second Brit. So that's like really impressive in your home country's marathon when it's such a big one. I think he was aiming for a sub 210. I think I saw an interview. He was kind of like 207 to 210. But to be fair, like,
Did you see his workout? Like his last long?
I didn't watch it.
He did 30K at 3:05s.
That's very impressive.
Which is like sub 5 minute pace for just under 20 miles.
That sounds tough.
That's pretty legit.
Where
huh?
was he? Do you know?
No clue.
Was he at altitude?
No, I wasn't paying that much attention. I just saw it, and so I had it. It seemed like he was going to run good, and he ran good.
He done did
It
that.
would be sweet, especially if he's going back triathlon. Like maybe he's not going to do another one. Oh, maybe I probably will at some point. But for a while, it would have been. I'm sure he would have loved to just be able to be a 2:0 guy immediately.
Yeah, it would have
Even
been a
though it's
big
like 2:09,
flex.
right?
Massive flex.
2:09 just sounds so much better than any of the alternatives.
Mm-hmm.
So does 205 sounds better than 209, doesn't it?
159.
No, but it's not that much better because there's still an O. The 5 is pretty good, but 209 is sounds a lot better than 210 compared to 20.
Well, it is
It's
a
like
minute. It is a
329.
minute better.
It's like 329
No, but
versus
no.
330
Yeah,
in the 1500. You know,
It's a second better.
no, but it's not.
But it sounds-
it's a barrier.
it sounds more better.
That's
than
like saying
330.
359 in the mile is only like half a second better than 4 flat. If you've never done it before, it's a lot more than that.
Faith is going to be enjoying that when she does sub 4. Shout out sub 4 attempt.
And on the women's side in London, we had, I hope I don't butcher the name, Asefa, Ethiopian lady. She broke the women's only marathon record, got a big payday, running 2:15, I think it was. Amazing performance from her. She crushed everyone. I mean, I think they must have gone so fast and big.
150,000 Benjamins for
Yeah.
that world
For that.
record.
Is it Benjamin's or King Charles?
I think this one was Benjamin's.
Oh.
I think it was a different number in King Charles's.
I think her overall payday was above 300.
300,
Yeah.
300 big ones?
Yeah, 300 big ones. Yeah, it was a big one. It was very
Man.
good.
Imagine getting all that in pennies.
Be crazy.
You'd be like Donald Duck diving into the pennies.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
I'm not sure how I feel about the women's only versus.
George, tell us what you think.
I'm not sure.
I feel like there should only be a women's only record.
Yeah.
Don't you? Like, why, you know?
Yeah. Then why doesn't Kipchoge's record count?
Well,
Why-
that's a different reason.
That
Because
is
he
a
had
different
paces
reason.
come in and out.
Okay,
If he had only been paced by paces that didn't come in and out, I would accept it.
Otherwise, we could just have we could make up so many categories.
Because the reason it annoys me is because then there's like a discrepancy between at some point in time we're going to see track women's records that are paced by men.
I guess the main difference is that in some races they just start both races together, and so you can't technically separate them. But in London, they make sure the women start first,
I think a lot of the majors they do separate them though.
but
I
not
think-
Chicago, obviously, because that's the world record, right?
Yeah, you're right, and not Berlin maybe, but even I don't think it's.
But
that
they're
hard to
6
separate them.
minutes different.
Yeah,
That's absurd.
yeah.
No, it's not that.
Well,
it's like
that's
it's
like
like
the craziest one of the.
you
That's like the craziest record out there. as well.
210 to 209. Like it's a different sound, but it's not that crazy.
It is like the women's marathon world record is like the craziest record out there right now
Literally,
as
yeah.
well.
What is
so
it? 209.
Yeah.
I think so. It's just it doesn't make any sense.
It's just
So
absurd.
they ran 2 minutes faster than Alex G, Olympic champion in the triathlon.
But they
That's
ran-
actually crazy.
And she ran 6 minutes faster than the girl who just made 150 grand for a world record.
Yeah, but I think that's I don't understand why they ended up allowing men's pacemaking for the women's.
You're gonna be pacing Zinter at some point, bro. So you just gotta
Probably will be.
you gotta lock in for that.
If I'm getting this, yeah,
Then you gotta split. You can split the 300 grand when she wins it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then Subway just should have had a bike pacing,
exactly.
or not in London, obviously. 'cause they separated
No,
it,
like a
but-
mini, like a black cab. Because in London, have a black cab.
I don't know. I
No,
But I
I
don't care that much.
appreciate that opinion because it is an issue. Like for it's.
I don't know if
But
it's an
just,
issue.
No, but it
Well,
is just such a
I guess not.
difference that they become hard to compare. The fact that for the men's record, the max that they're going to be able to pace because of human limitations, like the max someone's ever going to be able to pace for the men's record is what, 30K, let's say. And even that would be like, I don't know, like that's pretty amazing if you could find someone that could run 30K at that pace as a pacer that's not racing. Whereas the women's record, they run 42K with them. So it's just like,
They just peel off at the end.
yeah, it's just like, it makes it just like it's got an asterisk. It's just a big asterisk.
Just nice, yeah.
And like one of the big, things we always say about our sport is that like we need to simplify it to make it easier for less invested fans as us.
For more
to
simple
follow.
people.
And
Like
it just makes it, it's like,
Bro, I watched the
it
coverage
more
of
complicated.
the women's. Well, I guess there was the starter together in the Valencia. I think this was the 10K I was watching, and every time they
that
cut,
was also a women's world record.
every time this is mixed. This is mixed.
Oh, didn't the 10K world record just be broken too this weekend?
That was at the
Different Adidas. Sorry.
event. But I'm just saying, I watched the Valencia race, the 10K, the one where Andres won, and then every time they went to the camera of the lead woman, it was just a pack of 15 men, and she was somewhere in that pack, and that's what the race was. It's just like, oh, okay. Like, it's an amazing achievement. It doesn't take anything away, but
Yeah, it's still hard
See
to
what
run
I'm
that,
saying?
but it's easier when you have bodyguards around you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it just changes the dynamic a bit.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
it's still so amazing. 209. It's crazy.
I mean,
So-
yeah. When are you going to debut your marathon, George?
What's the soonest one I can do?
The Auckland Marathon in
Boulder.
the Boulderthon.
Oh, the Boulderthon.
Is it Boulderthon or Boulder?
Yeah, I don't know what it
Boulderthon.
is.
Boulderthon.
Surely the half Ironman is soon if you want to dip your toes in the water with that.
Yeah,
I'd love to dip my toes into anything. I think I'm gonna annoy Dathan and just not do a marathon and go straight into triathlon Ironman.
It's straight into Ironman specifically.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Why not?
Smart.
Why not go the whole? If you're going to do it,
Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get Mike Smith to coach me for the running, then I'm gonna get Jerry to coach me for the swimming, and then I'm gonna get Josette to coach me for the bike.
okay. And Dathan just is like your mental coach or what?
Dathan's
Like life. He's your
Dathan's-
life coach.
the only time Dathan's coaching me is at the race.
Your race day coach.
Yeah, he's my race day coach.
It's a
He gets all the rewards as
That's
well.
an elite coaching team.
He gets all the rewards as well. Like, no one will know about Jerry and Mike and Josette. It's just Dathan. Dathan's actually head of them. He like controls what they do for the training.
He coaches the coaches.
He coaches the coaches, particularly for the swim and the bike. With him and Mike are pretty close, so they just talk about stuff.
Totally.
Yeah, but that's my plan. I'm not going to do a marathon major. Thanks for asking, George.
Hey, you're
Well,
welcome.
On that note, I think we can start to wind down and say goodbye to all our lovely, lovely fans. Again, possibly this will just transition into our fun live show that we did, or it'll be something separate. But either way, thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of the pod. It's been lovely having you, and we look forward to seeing you guys again next week. Bye-bye.